What is going on, fellow Maplers? Welcome to episode 1 of Maple Mastery, a series where I will take you on my journey to transcend humanity and become a 2D mushroom god. How do I accomplish this? Simple, by completing as many Maple achievements as humanly possible. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, because why would you? This trivial system may be accessed by clicking the menu icon, and then selecting Maple Achievement. Or, if you plan on accessing this bad boy regularly, go over to key bindings, select Maple Achievement, and assign it to the Y key, as in, why the hell would I subject myself to all of this? Don't worry, I'll tell you. All of this so you can flex a completely useless insignia on all the poor Maplers who happen to cross your path. With all that out of the way, let's pop open the UI and I'll walk you through the progress I've made prior to starting this series. I played primarily on NA Reboot. While most of the content is accessible to Reboot, some achievements are locked to the regular servers. An example of this may be the Spells Trace system. Maple achievements are cross-world, so they can be completed, but for now, I will most likely not be going after these. In the Maple Achievements UI, you can see I've made quite a bit of progress already. If I open my Legion real quick, I'm at Heroic Legion 1 with a total level of 5,637 on my account. Additionally, my main is level 251 Demon Slayer. Because of this, I've completed a lot of the level up, battle, adventure, and item achievements that you'd expect through normal progression. Below that, you can see achievements that are close to being completed and recent achievements, but I'll walk you through each tab and show you where I'm at. Moving over to My Achievements, you can click on Rank, which shows you where you're at based on your current Maple points. So I'm starting at Silver here with 7,320, and Insignia, which unlocks with each subsequent rank. Now this translates to that skill that I showed you earlier, having that awesome symbol above your head. Moving down to General, you can see this is some really basic achievements for opening the UI, using health potions, obtaining daily gifts, and then attaining them over a long period of time. The most interesting in this category is making the chonkiest pet around by overfeeding it 10,000 times. Moving on to the Level Up tab, go to the Level Sub tab. Now most of this is achieved through normal account progression. You can see down here, additional achievements do pop up once you achieve its predecessor. So I imagine once I hit 255, the next one would be 260. But a couple of these really highlight the cynical nature of Nexon. I mean, come on, if level 200 10 times with a single job, or level 200 with a beginner class. Oh god, not looking forward to that one. Moving on to stats, this is another one that's general account progression. You can see just by achieving lots of honor XP or certain legendary traits. So the one I haven't achieved yet is the 50% buff skill duration, because it's a pretty wide range of what you can get at legendary. So still looking out for that one, but I should get it with time. Moving on to traits, this essentially is completed by reaching level 100 in Ambition, Charm, Diligence, Empathy, and Insight, which are leveled by completing various activities around the game, the easiest being Ambition with bossing, but also gathering, equipping items will level up these traits over time, and you can get trait potions through events. A few of these are actually super useful, Ambition and Insight especially, but Charm too for that pocket slot. Moving on to Profession, so here you essentially want to achieve Meister rank in each of the respective trades: mining, herbalism, smithing, alchemy, and accessory crafting. Again, this one's pretty useful for most accounts, especially for alchemy, because that's how you get most of your end game potions for bossing, XP, mesos, and drop rate, things of that nature. Then moving on to Legion, again, this is just general account progression. I imagine for reaching the high ranked legendary legions, will come with high Legion raid power as well as coins over time. So this will get completed through natural account progression. Moving on to the Job tab, I'll go over to Story. Now each character or class of character has their own respective storylines. The only one I've completed is 0 because it's tied into the equipment while leveling. However, I plan to make a short video on each of these going through the stories. I've quested in Maple by holding down the space bar, I feel like most people. But I feel like it might be fun to summarize into a video format, so I'll be doing that going forward. The only other tab that's populated is the Skills tab, which is tied to getting the Empress's Might skill. That should be easy enough, and then the other ones are blank. Moving over to the Item tab and the Collect sub tab. Now, many of these I have no idea what they are. They're all tied to random actions or medals, which I guess are linked to quests that nobody's ever heard of. So it'll be fun kind of exploring how to achieve these and showing you how I get there. Outside of that, there's Boost, which is mainly tied to the Spell Trace and Star Force system. Now, you'll be wondering, why do I have a Spell Trace one if I'm playing on NA Reboot? There's actually a Yeti and Pink Bean going on at the time of this recording, so I was able to achieve the basic Spell Trace one from that. Outside of that, through normal account progression, you can get a lot of the Star Force achievements. Some of them being next to impossible, I imagine, like 25 stars. It's like, fucking have to win the lottery for that one, but we'll see. We'll get there eventually. And then the Equip tab, which has nothing in it. Moving on to the Adventure tab and Exploration sub-tab. The first few, I have no idea what these belong to, but I guess I'll learn as I go. The bulk of these, however, are just for going to an area map and then going to all the sub-maps of it. Some of them will be locked behind quest lines. Some of these I've already done just for funsies as well, but I'll go through and take a look at all the rest that I still need. For quests, these are just quest lines. The bulk of the ones I have completed are related to the Arcane River pre-bosses or something linked to a character unlock like a medal or android, but most of them I haven't completed yet. Cooperation is just for party quests, and Special is predominantly for Arcane River party quests, as well as Tower of Oz, which I have not done a lot of yet. Moving on to the Battle tab and the Field sub-tab, so most of these are achieved by just normal account progression. While leveling your characters, you'll have Paulo and Frito portals as well as Inferno Wolf portals spawn on the map. You'll also have various types of runes, and each one usually has an achievement associated with it. Just from normal account progression, I've gotten the bulk of these, and I imagine I'll get more just by completing them over time. Moving on to bosses, now this is where I imagine the bulk of time will be spent in achievement hunting. So after you clear 1, 10, and 100 time achievements for each boss, you start getting 1,000 clear achievements, which is just an absurd amount of time. In addition to this, I've only cleared up to normal slime on my account and gotten the drops associated with up to that boss, so there's still a bulk of the game I haven't gotten to yet and will with time. Moving on to drop items, this is essentially the same thing. Associated with each boss is their unique drop. I haven't gotten anything past normal slime. And then also unique drops from the field. This one's brutal. After all the time I've spent playing this game, I still haven't gotten a unique potential item to drop. And then also you need a ton of arcane symbols to drop in the field, which are also super rare, but will come with time. Moving on to the social tab, there's nothing in the party sub-tab for guild. If you couldn't tell already, Daddy Nexon wants you playing every single day of the year because goddamn, you gotta join. 365 days for guild attendance. Additionally, you have to get contribution, which just comes with time. And then there's a lot associated to Flag Race and Culvert weekly events. For trade, there's nothing, and for other, there's just this letters from Showa, which I'm not really sure what it is, but I guess I'll figure out with time. Moving on to the event tab, there's only one achievement, which I'm not sure you can get because there's 6 types of rings listed, and I think for reboot, only 3 of them are attainable because when there is an event, you get a selector for 1 of 3. So I'll have to look more into that. For the memory tab, these are all old achievements that can no longer be obtained. For the results tab, there's nothing in here, so no idea. So where do I go from here? I have a few different directions between questing and exploration, bossing, Legion and level grind, and a variety of miscellaneous tasks. I have a few ideas for the next video, but let me know what you'd like to see in the comments down below. And if you stuck to the end, make sure to subscribe and absolutely demolish that like button like you would a Hennessy slime.